So here's a made-up problem. Got 4 resistors. So start by simplifying. First thing you're going to do is simplify. The 60 and the 100 are in parallel. Start with those. So let's redraw the circuit. Here, I'm going to shrink down the questions. Just make this smaller, like that. Okay, so we'll simplify this down. So redraw the whole circuit. There's the battery. We got a 15 ohm. There's the 40 ohm. Now, a 60 and a 100, when you do the 1/, equation, that simplifies to 37.5. Bam, like this. 120 volt battery. That's 15. That's 40. Okay, now, these 3 are in series. So the way you simplify series is you just add them up. So this is 92.5. Right, so these are the answers. These are all answers here. 1.297. Okay, now let's label the currents. The current out of the battery, let's call that I1. So right here, this would be I1. The current through here would be I1. And then here it splits. So we'll call this I2. And we'll call this one I3. And then back here, right there, we're back to I1. Okay, what current's going around this circuit over here? I1. I1 through all of these. Current in series is the same. And then here would be I1. Okay, now let's start by finding I1. How do we find I1? Are you going to be using this picture to figure out I1? It's too complicated. In fact, I don't even think you could because we don't know enough over there. But if you go here, if you look right here, we know, so 120 volt battery means 120 and 0, right? So the delta V. So how many volts up there? 120, and how about right there? 0. So what must be the delta V across this resistor? 120. So we got it. So we can do I1. Here's how you get I1. Let me clean this up here. So we get I1 by going like this. It's delta V over R. And that just comes from Ohm's law, right? Ohm's law is delta V equals IR. So I1, we go 120 over 92.5. And then that gives I1 as 1.297 amps. So everywhere we wrote I1 is 1.297. Everywhere. Like so right here, 1.297. Down here, 1.297. Everywhere that we put I1. Right here, 1.297. All the I1s are 1.297. Oh, and look it, we already answered part A here. The current in the 40 ohm, hey, what current goes through the 40 ohm? I1, it's 1.297. We found it down here, right? Do you want to know the biggest mistake kids make? The biggest mistake kids make is they go like this. And if you do this on the quiz, you're basically telling me that you don't know what you're doing. You go like this. You go I equals delta V over R, right? So you go, okay, R is 40. Now let's see. I need a V. Oh, there's a V. 120, right? That's if you do that, you're telling me you don't know what you're doing. So don't do that. So the current through the 40 is 1.297. Now, how do we get the current in the 100? So before we can get the current in the 100, so look, here, what are we going to need? Well, to get the current through the 100, which we're calling I3, it's going to be delta V over R. The R is 100. That's fine. But now what's the delta V across this guy? The easiest way to get it is to go to this guy. Because who is this guy? This guy is these guys. Right? If you can find the delta V across the 37.5, then you found the delta V across the 60 and the 100. Does that make sense? So, how do we get the delta V across the 37.5? We can get it. Delta V across the 37.5, across this guy, you're going to go I times R. The I is 1.297. The R is 37.5. So that comes out as 48.6375. So we'll round that. 0.64, 48.64. The delta V is 48.64 volts, right? So again, if you find the voltage across this guy, then you found the voltages across these guys, both of them. Because who is this guy? He's these guys. So now we can solve it. So the delta V is 48.64 volts. Divide by 100. I3 comes out as 0.486 amps. And that's the answer to part B, 0.486. Okay, last question. Oh, real quick. Energy used by the 60 ohms. So what do we first have to find? We first have to find the power of the 60 ohm. Okay? I'm going to go fast. The bell's going to ring. So I got to find the power of this guy. So you go like this. Delta V squared over R. So that was 48. You can pack up. I'm just going to keep talking. Delta V squared. R is 60. So the power of the 60 ohm comes out as 39.4 watts. So then power is energy over time. $39.4. That's a joule per second, and it's 180 seconds. Hey, who got these all right? Nobody?
I missed the last one.
The last one? Good. Who got most of them right? Nice.